Welcome back to Bow Hunting 360, everybody. I'm Jake from the Hunting Public, and today we're going to talk about playing the wind and how to use thermals to your advantage. There's a lot of new technology and scent elimination stuff nowadays that people use, but we hunt a lot of public land, so that's not really feasible for us. We're always moving around from state to state, camping out of our vehicles, camping out of tents, and don't have access to stuff like that. And we're walking long distances on the way in, and we always get sweated up. So scent elimination stuff doesn't make too much sense for our situation. So we just rely on keeping our scent out of the deer's nose. And we do that by playing the wind and using the thermals to our advantage. And I'm going to explain a little bit of how all that works today. So where we start with playing the wind is we just get online. There's a lot of different applications you can use. We use Wonderground, and it'll give you an hourly forecast on what the wind direction is supposed to be. But a lot of times when you get out in the field, just based off the way the topography sets up, the weather forecast could have been a little off. You might have to slightly adjust while you're in the field. So the cheapest and best option we've found for checking the wind is just using little milkweed pods. They seem to be pretty much all over throughout the whitetail range. But if they're not in your area, you can use things like cotton, cattail heads. And you can crumple those up, and if you can't find anything natural in your area to check the wind with, there's also commercial options that you can buy, little wind checkers. But they're not going to tell you the whole story. They're just basically going to tell you what the predominant wind is. They're going to tell you what the wind's doing for, 3 to 5 yards until it gets away from you. But if you use something like milkweed, that's going to tell you the whole story. A lot of times you'll drop that milkweed, it'll do the same thing. It'll go right where the wind's blowing for 20, 30 yards. But then all of a sudden it's like magic, and that's where thermals come into play. And the best way I can explain thermals is in the morning when it's pitch black out before the sun comes up. If there's no wind, a lot of time your thermals are just going to sit there and your scent's just going to float. But as that sun starts to come up and it starts hitting the ground, that heat rising will start to lift your scent up, especially if there's no wind. If you drop milkweed or something like that on a dead calm day that's real sunny, it's pretty crazy to watch how your scent will just go straight up into the air, and you can really use that to your advantage if you're trying to set up on somewhere that's pretty sensitive as far as scent goes. And in the evening, it's kind of the opposite of that. As the sun starts to set, your scent will just start to drop kind of with the temperature. And you can also really use this to your advantage. Basically, it'll just kind of flow with the topography like water. So say you're set up kind of in a drainage going up a ridge towards the top of a ridge. If you're dropping that milkweed and there's not much wind, your scent will just basically pull right down that ravine. It'll also work really well if you're close to water, especially along a river. We've had setups before where basically your scent just drops down into the river, then it follows and it'll just follow basically the current of the river. And that's where that milkweed's really going to tell you the true story. And it's nice because it's really visible and you can watch it for 30, 40 yards and know exactly what that wind's doing. So just a little recap, if you're not using any sort of scent elimination stuff, knowing exactly what your wind and what the thermals are doing is going to be super important for keeping your scent off of the deer or whatever you're hunting's nose. So try to find something natural in your area that you can just drop and it'll float with the wind. And the more you do that, the better you'll be at predicting exactly what the wind's going to be doing. That way you can really dial in your setups. The more you do it, the more you learn about this stuff. And as time goes on, especially once you start to understand those thermals, you'll really be able to take advantage of a deer's number one sense, and that's their nose. So hopefully a couple of these tips help you, and good luck this fall.